Alrighty, quick daily trading recap for Friday, the 10th of June, 2022. This is the Saturday following that one. Has a busy day on that Friday, so doing a little recap here to not break the chain for these little video recaps for myself, just as reference once again to be able to look back upon from future me to past me now, to be able to see what I was thinking during these times and just what was going on in this individual day, see how far I've come, see where I've been. All those different factors. Market internal dollar volume on the day, just as reference once again. NASDAQ $240 billion volume on this day. NYSE $355 billion volume on the day, and OTC markets $2.4 billion volume traded on the day. Hard sell-off, looking like 2.9% in the red in total after CPI news, inflation coming out worse than expected even at this 8:30 mark here. Market's obviously not liking it, putting in a hard reclaim to these lows here, just under 390-ish range. So we will see where the next days end up tracking and what would like to proceed just in overall market action. I will be very interested to see and follow along with it. For my automated futures trading strategy today, 9:30 strategy going off well with the smaller upside profit target strategy and the smaller downside. I think both getting hit in that first minute candle there. And also will be interesting to see as I continue to play with these more about the rollover of the switching of expiration futures. Obviously, it's getting the notifications from my NinjaTrader about, okay, hey, it's do you want to switch over to the 9/22 expiration futures contracts, or do you want to keep with the 6/22 contracts? So interesting to see just how that would work into I think mainly my hard focus on that will just be volume. If I do start to take larger, I'm not going to take insanely big size positions. I mean, how I imagine is even with my big, large size, the max size that I would be taking in something would be like, 5, 6, 7 ES contracts on one side. So even in that, it's not like I'm swinging huge, incredible size, and that needs huge amount of liquidity for how liquid this instrument already is itself. But should that, playing at certain times when rollover starts to come, is it more beneficial for me to get filled because I can try to pinpoint, or I could relate that to, hey, would I have gotten filled closer to that mark, or am I missing a tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks because of just a little miss of liquidity there? That's not getting me filled for how much I need with this specific strategy to be filled at these specific price points to follow along with this back-tested data following that I'm doing with basing all these trades off of reading the storyline of what the market I feel is overall saying. So that's just another point to bring up in the future. It's not really any of my concern right now, especially for how small size of it is, and for the MES contract specifically as well too. And that's another thing on top of that. I'm taking my data off of the ES contracts, not even the MES. And the MES and the ES can have different open prices, hit little different highs depending on what's traded there. So that's a whole nother different facet of it too. So I'm not like I'm getting so nitty-gritty, fine-tuned, crazy in-depth in that as of right now. I think it's for the barometer that I'm using it, I think it's totally fine for the meantime. So, but just more variables to throw into the mix to keep me intrigued in the future. Like I mentioned, 9:30 to 9:45 strategy working out well within the first minute there. 3:45 to close strategy. Obviously, downside profit target getting hit very nicely, but nothing above from where it opened there in that 3:45 minute candle there. So that had to be succumbed to the loss as we close there for the market hours close in that one. And that one now I think has actually flipped. So these past 2 days have taken away the overall profitability of what it said on the 100-day, 50-day, and 20-day for that specific above the open price target there, point target there for that automated strategy on that one. So that would be swiped away over the next few weeks there unless it starts to come back once again hard to show that there is some profitability back to it. It's all about adjustability and adaptability to what the data is saying. I'm not attached to any specific price point, and if it's showing me, hey, we're not going to keep doing this again and again, hey, I'm totally down there with it. It's the same thing with the larger downside profit target strategy on the full session one. I'm still doing the smaller long profit target strategy for the larger downside profit target strategy that was especially showing itself in the harder red days that we're having here since that all-time high hit back here on the start of the year. But as that has shown in recent times, okay, hey, yeah, there still is a decent amount of hits on that percentage-wise for how many times that does happen in these market hours days, but still overall it's just not a profitable strategy. Hey, I'm totally with it. I'm not trying to force that trade on the market. I'm just saying what's the story that's being laid out, and can we continue to read it and be a part of that. I'm not trying to create anything out of this market. I'm just saying, hey, there's a few nickels here. I think I can kind of scoop them up and get out of the way of the steamroller before it runs over me. So that's, in essence, again, all that I'm doing with this specific automated future strategy. Still trying to dip my toes in the water again with equities, getting back into that realm once again. Nothing hard that of course, I was away from the screen for all the day today, but even that, just keeping my wits about me, not trying in these summer months, not trying to force anything crazy or create more than I think is there, just because there may be that FOMO over like, oh, somebody else made a profit on a trade. Oh, I got to make something. I got to like do more analysis and research and find a trade. And that was the same thing that I found with that Jan trade. Initially, I was getting short on that when in reality, I was like, this looks like a better long. This is a much better risk reward as a long. I can see the thesis as a short of, hey, I wanted to break these levels here, but let's actually take a step back and get rid of the FOMO of just wanting to be in a trade, and let's actually trade it as it should be traded. So the same thing with that. I'm not trying to force it and not get back into this little equity, small cap, OTC mindset to be trading just because, I'm in front of a screen and I need to be trading. It's about making money. That's what I have to realize every single day. And I related it to the same thing too. I was thinking about doing my little review before the video of watching or reading other people's comments, whether looking at Twitter, whether they're looking at Profitly, of just anything and everybody of whenever they're posting. It's always so disagreeing with my soul to be reading it, anything that people are posting, because nobody understands what's happening. You can think we understand and we know what's going on. I'm not talking about like what is a bid and what is an ask. I'm talking about like, oh, these stocks did this because they did this. Of course, this is such gray matter, and there's some instances where you do know what's actually going on, and there's other instances, but I believe the vast majority of it, we have no idea what's going on. Nobody knows if a stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in circles. I love that Matthew McConaughey quote from Wolf of Wall Street. I'll say it again and again. But the truth of the matter is, it's just patterns, and it's just making your own luck at times of being in the right place at the right time and identifying key factors. But we don't know who's pushing a button, who's making a call to say, hey, we're buying this many shares here, and that's pushing price from this point to this point. Hey, we're going to be selling at this specific point here. There's key patterns and adjustments, and of course, who am I to say these things from an unprofitable trader's perspective that is zero proven track record whatsoever with actually identifying patterns in stocks. But at the same thing, in the same breath, I just want to say it's just a lot of continually showing up. And it's not like there is one material answer that all of a sudden you uncover and you find the golden riches of the stock market and you can just continue to create wealth infinitely. It's just an ever-going process. And that's what I have to commit to. It's not about being right. That is another huge cute thing for me of not coming to these comments or the Twitter posts or just whatever I find the medium of people posting things or talking, that I don't view them from the lens of, okay, they're wrong. They're stupid. I'm better than them and I'm smarter than them. That's not what it's about. I'm sick and tired of playing that game. Even if I am, I don't want to be. I want to be making money. That's what I'm here in front of these screens for. So that's just what I have to continually remember over and over again, is just let go of that stupidity of myself, of trying to put that perspective on it and always slapping everything. That's my first kind of instinct, is just slap everything with that label of, oh, they're stupid. Of like, yeah, I can kind of see that, but that's kind of stupid. And just kind of shunning it in its entirety. But just get rid of it. It's about making money. Who cares what I think, or who cares what perception I have, or regardless of what perception people have of me? It's just about making money. That's what I'm here for at the end of the day, and that's what it's going to be remembered. And I'm not living it for a legacy aspect. I'm not living it for I want to be remembered as a great trader. I'm just like, okay, I'm saying my task here today is to do this, which is make money. I'm not here to be proven correct or be right. We're here to make money, and it doesn't matter how it's made, by what modality. It doesn't matter what it looks like. That golf scorecard analogy, I love that. Of just no pictures on it, it's just a number. And the same thing with P&L. It's just not really. It's how you get there at times is not really the most important feature of it. It is the number in its entirety. So just that, using that analogy and that frame of mind once again to come at each and every single day is, I think, going to be key for me, is especially going forward, keeping an open perspective in that and not just limiting myself by trying to be right or trying to shun everybody else because, I feel bad about not being a profitable trader yet. It's just so many different variables that way. It's all for His glory. And I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity to do this still, the opportunity to get back into the workforce a little bit and understand what a hard day's work is and have that reflection, understanding why I want to do this more and more continually. So lots of good things going on, lots of great things going forward, lots of good things from the past, lots of good things in the present, and I know God's got much in store for the future as well. So I'm extremely thankful for each and every one of you watching. We will catch you guys on the next one.